What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video. So today I'm going to talk about my latest ugly lens purchase from KEH. So make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's roll the intro and get right into it. So this is my Sigma 120 to 400 millimeter that I've been using since about this time last year. Now, she's pretty big. Well, here's my newest ugly lens purchase. Now, this is my Sigma 150 to 600 millimeter contemporary lens. So this lens was strictly an impulse buy. I had my eye on a couple other lenses and I had them stored in my cart on KEH. Those lenses were the Sigma 35 millimeter f1.4 art lens and the Sigma 18 to 35 art lens. Now, I was waiting to pull the trigger on them because I was still deciding on which one I wanted or needed more. And I even made a video about it that I never put out. Well, as the old saying goes, you snooze, you lose. When I finally made the decision, both of them were gone. So there I was, just scrolling, and I came across this big old monstrosity. Now, I'm not at all new to this lens. In fact, about 8 or 9 months ago, I was helping my friend get into photography, and she wanted me to find a super telephoto lens that she could use to shoot the wildlife on her property. Well, I pointed her in the direction of the sports version of this lens, which at the time, she bought for $1,300. Now, once she received it, I used it on my R7 and I was completely blown away, so I had to keep my eyes open for one just in case. Well, right after seeing that the lenses that I wanted were now gone, I just started scrolling KEH, and there it was. But not for $1,300. And not the sport version. I saw the price and was confused because this lens in ugly condition was under $400. So I hit up YouTube and watched every video that came up about this lens, and pretty much everyone that reviewed it said the same thing, that this lens was a must. So I added it to my cart and I grabbed it. Now let me first outline the difference in price between the sport and the contemporary versions. Now, this is based on what I personally know and what I learned from watching different review videos. The reason for the difference in price is simple. I bought an ugly lens. Obviously, buying an ugly lens is going to come with a lower price tag, whereas the lens that my friend bought was excellent. Also, the sport version is made with less plastic than this one, therefore it has a lot more heft and it seems to be a little bit more durable. Not to mention, in the sports lens, the autofocus motors are just a bit faster than this one. That's pretty much it though. Now, this lens was manufactured for DSLR cameras, so the need for faster autofocus motors was important. However, today not so much. And since the contemporary is more plastic, it weighs a lot less, which is awesome when you're out shooting sports all day. Typically, a used sports lens costs around $2,000 and the contemporary is around $1,000. So the fact that I got this one for under 400 bucks blew my mind. So let's have a look a little bit closer at this lens and see why it was considered ugly. When I unboxed it, the first thing that I checked was the glass, and that's when my heart dropped. I noticed this haze or moisture in the front element. And at first I thought it was fungus, but it didn't really look like fungus. So I figured haze or moisture, or maybe it had been serviced and it was just residue that was left over. First things first, I needed to see if there was any noticeable loss of quality or anything that showed up in the photos, which thankfully, all the photos were crystal clear. So the next thing I noticed was this crack right here where the screw is. It's more proof that the lens was taken apart, or maybe it was dropped at some point, because the ring isn't perfectly round. I honestly think it had been unscrewed and there was work done to it, and then the screw was probably over tightened and caused the crack. And by being cracked, it sort of allowed the ring to become misshapen. So I took it out to the local dog park where there's a little duck pond and I tested it out. And here are some shots from that. As you can see, these shots are nice and sharp. There's no evidence of quality loss, and the lens functions perfectly. This is why I continue to buy ugly gear from KEH, because The gear may have one or two issues, but in the end, they work great and you get amazing results. I will do a much more detailed review of this lens once it warms up just a bit and see what it can actually do, especially when it comes to doing some motorsports. And just a little extra note here, I'm using this on my Canon R7, which takes the 150 to 600 millimeter focal length and gives me a cropped field of view equaling 240 to 960 millimeter, which will give me the ability to get up close and personal with any subjects I'm shooting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I plan on having a full review soon. Remember, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and check out my website, jeff-gresham.com for photo prints as well as my upcoming Lightroom presets. So until next time, stay creative and get out and shoot. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh, what do you think of this cup, huh? So this cup, my fiance got it for me. It's got a roll of film in the glass. It's pretty cool. Some of the cool stuff you find at a camera store.